What's up, West Pittston? We are here for another week of updates and new and exciting things happening here at the library. For our first section, our In the News section, we were talking about Banned Books Week, which I'm sure you've seen on our Facebook and our Instagram page. We've been posting a bit about it. It started on Sunday to Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it is talking about how there are some people who want to choose what other people read, essentially. Censorship and happens lots in libraries, lots in schools, and that's it. Oh, we want to talk about the 10 books that are in this year's list. So every year, the American Library Association puts out the top 10 list of books that were challenged this year. So if you've seen our post, we talk about how the United States on a whole, the state of Pennsylvania does not ban books itself. It's not illegal to read or purchase any of these books, but they are books that have been challenged or removed from either a public library or a school library. So that is what we mean by the word banned. It's not that they're actually legally banned in any way. So this year, Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe was #1. Lawn Boy by Jonathan Evanson. All Boys Aren't Blue by George Johnson. Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez. The Hate You Do, which we have here in the library, by Angie Thomas, which I have read this book and I love this book. That movie was phenomenal. This book was really, really, really good. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, which I also read when I was doing a banned book challenge. This was 10 years ago.
So it's not new. These aren't like new books.
No, these are just the ones that have been most challenged this past year in 2021.
So it makes you wonder why they have been in existence for this long.
Yeah.
Why this year are people choosing to be like, no, this book doesn't belong on these shelves?
Well, the next book is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. The next book is The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, which came out 30 years ago. So it's just because of the content of the book, some people have decided that they are not appropriate for other people to read. #9 is This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson. And then the last #10 is Beyond Magenta by Susan Kuklin. So those are the two that we have here in the building.
We did have This Book is Gay. It must be out.
Yeah, it might be. These are all genderqueer are in our system. So if you're interested in reading any of them, we can get them for you.
And that was one that I talked about 2 weeks ago about that case that was overthrown.
Right, because that case was all about banning the sale of the book in the state.
Yeah.
Which would be a legal ban.
Right. Which is, I don't want to say more extreme, but it's definitely a bigger step anyway than just complaining about a book.
Right.
You know.
But yes, so keep an eye out for our other posts this week on other information. And if you have any questions about it, any of us here in the library can answer that for you. You can message us, call us, talk about banned books. It's a topic near and dear to our hearts in that way. And we also wanted to talk about, obviously this week, the Queen passed away. She made the cover of People Weekly.
Well, 2 weeks ago, really.
Yesterday was the funeral.
Monday.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. Okay. So that was in there. And I pulled a couple books if you were interested in kind of her life. This one is about Meghan Markle, who was there. This is about Elizabeth herself. And then this is about the brothers. This might be a little bit more gossipy at this juncture in history, this book. But this one is more about her historical reign. She was crowned in 1952, which is a heck of a long time.
Yeah.
So she's definitely been it. When she was crowned, Britain ruled 39 countries, I think. At this point, that she was the head of 17 countries. And lots of countries are talking about pushing through their independence with her passing, which would be a really big step for a lot of countries. So that would be kind of exciting in that way.
I do know I was reading that they recently changed a law as far as heirs to the throne and gender, whereas it would have skipped over Charlotte, William's daughter,
right?
Because she was female.
Because she has an older brother.
No, because she has a younger brother. So it would go her older brother, and then skip over her and go to her younger brother. Or she has 2 older brothers. I've lost track. Okay, yeah. So, but they changed that anyway. So next in line is next in line. So she would be able to be queen before her younger brother would be king.
And Elizabeth was one of the big catalysts for that change. Because
I imagine so, although it only just happened recently.
Right. Yeah. But she's one of the reasons. Before that, it would have bounced to like another male heir.
Yeah.
But there were no male heirs. So it was the most succinct way of continuing the rule. So for better or worse, it was definitely a long reign with lots of influence. So we have those books on there, and we wanted to talk about Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month.
Yes, which runs, it's not really like a whole month because it runs, excuse me, from September to October.
Yep,
it's like 15
to the 15th.
And we do have a display as soon as you walk in the door. Most of them are adult and YA books. So I just wanted to mention, I just wanted to hold up some.
It kicks off on the 15th. That is a lot of Latin American countries, their Independence Day is celebrated the 15th, 16th, 17th. That's why it's
here. These are some easy reader books that we have, and they're either Hispanic characters or authors. And then we have some chapter books. This is actually a series, and the only thing I can say about this is that it's written in a great format. Oh, we have Selena biography too. It's all written by letters. And Unusual Chickens for the Exceptional Poultry Farmer is a hilarious title. And my daughter read it, and I think she really enjoyed it. She thought it was funny. And it's about a little girl who lives on a farm, but is not really wanting to be on a farm because they don't have anything that makes it a farm. So she's looking to make it a farm. And so she writes letters to catalog people. She writes letters to her deceased abuelita and her deceased Uncle Jim and her friends. And that's how the story is told in letters. So when we have the follow-up.
epistolary.
And what?
The word that it's like when things are written in letters.
Oh.
Is epistolary.
Okay, if you say so, I'll trust you. And then some books about Dia de los Muertos, because that is coming up at the end of October, not to be confused with Halloween, has nothing to do with Halloween, just happens to take place around the same time. And that's all I have to say about that.
And then, so our next section is new books this week. We don't have a lot this week, and 2 of them have already left the building because someone was so excited to take them. They could not possibly wait any longer. But the one that we still have in the building is Lucy by the Sea by Elizabeth Strout, which is part of the series of Lucy's, Lucy Barton, sorry. But I think it's the 4th or 5th book, and it's all characters that are in the same universe, all about Lucy. So if you read her other books, I don't think you have to read them all to read this one, but they all do link together. And then the other big thing that we wanted to, about new stuff this week, we got so many, I don't know why we got so many magazines all in one week, but
let me see that one. I like the cover.
Good Housekeeping, Do It Yourself, TV.
Like, how fun is that? Look at that. Oh gosh, I love that.
Pennsylvania Game News.
And you could do this with fake pumpkins and then just put it out every year. So you don't have to like waste your talent and all your hard work on just one year.
They're all over here.
And Women's Health, Sports Illustrated, Taste of Home, and Men's Health are all came in. I really like the sausage and blueberry stuffing recipe was one that was on.
I'm looking at costumes just because I like Halloween. And like, oh my gosh, look at how fun that is. I would totally dress my kid up like that when they were younger. In fact, my daughter was a potted plant or flowers, a big flower pot one year.
I like when she was the tea bag.
Yes, well, she won an award for both.
That one was funny. I liked that one.
We do like not store-bought costumes in my house. I've always just like made their costumes because that's how you get to be unique and creative and different from everybody else.
I always made my own costumes growing up, but Stephen always wants to be a Fortnite character lately. So
I mean, I was a bunch of grapes one year. I had balloons all like pinned to me. I was a box of crayons, and I was the yellow crayon, of course. I've always just done creative stuff.
I was a witch mostly, where I just wore all black, which is a lot of what I wore anyway. But I would wear
no different.
No different. But sometimes I put a hat on so you knew it was a costume and not my regular outfit.
That's like my default now because I don't have time to make my own costumes.
So just anything and a hat.
Yeah.
That's what makes it.
Yep, pretty much.
So then our last section is events this week. So last night we had our Overeaters Anonymous meeting or informational meeting. And if you have any questions about that, definitely let us know. Thursday, I have our book brief class, which is full. If you want to be put on the wait list, you can go ahead and call or email us. Friday and Saturday is our children's book sale from 10 to 4. The books are $2 for $1, and all that money goes right back into the library. And on October 11th, we have our Sabatini's fundraiser. It's $25 a ticket, which includes 3 drinks and all you can eat pizza. And there'll be raffle baskets there, 50/50, and live music.
The raffle baskets are here, so if you want to get a jump start on it,
Yes.
you can come here and buy them.
Yep. And then what do you have this week?
I've got black glue. I think I mentioned that last week, toddler story time and kindergarten readiness. And then we're moving into October schedule.
Yeah.
This is the last
very
week
close.
of my programming for
No,
September. Well, yeah, but that's a black glue is a 2-part series.
Oh,
So
okay.
next week I have nothing new to talk about.
Fair. All right. And I think that is all we have for this week. Pretty short, pretty simple. All right. We will talk to you all next week.